Hello everyone and welcome. Today we're going to be taking a look back at a few of the first announcements about Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 and what exactly they mean. Nintendo has had 3 separate big announcements. We are going to be taking a look at all 3 of them in the coming days, so expect more Breath of the Wild 2 news recaps tomorrow and the next day. Today we're going to be taking a look at the very first announcement though. What exactly do they mean? Majora's Mask and Red Dead Redemption 2. Aonuma confirms that Breath of the Wild 2 will take inspiration from these games and be the darkest Zelda game. What does this mean to you? I would love for all of you to comment below and give us your thoughts on Nintendo's own words as I read over them and give my ideas. Before we begin, I want to say thank you to all of your continued support in these hard times, and I wish every one of you the best. If you're feeling sad, troubled, or just need someone to talk with, to get your mind off of everything going on, even if it isn't related to what's going on in the world, please feel free to send a message and I will try to be there. Starting with the more confusing announcement. Breath of the Wild sequel team drew inspiration from Red Dead Redemption 2. The younger staff in particular played the latest Rockstar game. The younger members of the team working on the Breath of the Wild sequel have notably been inspired by Red Dead Redemption 2. Zelda producer Aonuma revealed this information in an interview with IGN. When asked what games the younger staff on the Zelda team were playing, specifically what inspired them, Aonuma replied, "Something I did hear a lot of people were playing was Red Dead Redemption 2. When asked what open worlds inspired the Zelda team as a whole, he said, "When I was working on Breath of the Wild, the director, Fujibayashi, was playing Skyrim," which is something that we actually already knew. During the release of Skyward Sword, Aonuma stated that himself, along with many other people on the Zelda Wii U development team, were heavily inspired by Skyrim, which Daniel and I on the Highland Gamescast actually believes is what inspires the timeline placement of Breath of the Wild, in a similar way to the timeline placement of Skyrim in the Elder Scrolls series. We actually have a video going very in-depth on that, linked in the description below. Continuing with this interview, Aonuma says that he's just been playing a lot of Cadence of Hyrule and Link's Awakening in his free time. So for everyone watching, this video is meant to be more of a discussion between the audience and this video is meant to be more of a discussion between all of you and myself. So please, comment below. Based off of how Aonuma said Breath of the Wild's overworld was heavily inspired by Skyrim, how do you feel Breath of the Wild 2's overworld being heavily inspired by Red Dead Redemption 2 will turn out? How do you think it may affect the game, the story, potential gameplay, new elements that could possibly be added into the game? Comment below, let me know. Everyone who is watching will read your comment, and if they agree or disagree, I encourage everyone to have a polite and intelligent conversation in the comments below. From IGN. Zelda Breath of the Wild sequel is not related to Majora's Mask. E3 2019. The sequel will have no relation to Majora's Mask. I have actually seen a lot of people confused about this, thinking that Breath of the Wild 2 would basically be Breath of the Wild's version of Majora's Mask, which is not the case. IGN says, after Nintendo showed the trailer for Breath of the Wild's sequel, eager fans speculated that the tone possibly suggested that it's related to Ocarina of Time's direct sequel, Majora's Mask, or the mask would be in the game itself. Which honestly, I suspect the mask will be in the game, considering that it was in the original game, but I do not expect it to have any story purpose. During an interview at the Nintendo booth with IGN, director and producer of the Zelda series, Aonuma, confirmed that the sequel will not in fact be related to Majora's Mask, despite the darker tone. Quote, "The new Breath of the Wild, or the sequel to it, it's not necessarily going to be related to Majora's Mask or be inspired by it. What we showed you currently is a little darker. You can join our Discord, where well over 1,300 other Zelda fans and fans of our podcast are active, and we have chat rooms specifically for Zelda theories, Breath of the Wild 2 ideas, and many other discussion topics that you'll love." We are here for you. Please join and send me a direct message or join any of the other chats to talk about whatever you are interested in. Whether you have an idea or theory for Breath of the Wild 2 or just need a conversation to escape from the world. We also have one of the biggest and most important videos we have ever worked on coming soon. We will be taking a look at new and old official interviews and announcements on upcoming Zelda games, some of which has sadly been overlooked due to other larger gaming news releasing at the time. So please, be excited for that coming in the next few days. Please join our Discord and send me a direct message.